Welcome to the Real Nelson podcast, where we talk everything family, fitness, and relationship.
What is a relationship, you ask? It is a friendship that can turn into a relationship, much like ours.
Yes, sir. So funny to me. So funny to me. The title of this episode is Premarital Counseling Saved Our Marriage. What? First of all, babe, we married.
We are.
Like, we married.
We are.
We married.
But we knew this was going to happen now.
Absolutely. Oh, for sure. We did. So let me just ask, did you think with premarital counseling, did you think we needed it?
Quite honestly, like, I didn't think I needed it, right?
Okay.
But I was willing to do it because I felt like these were necessary steps. Like, it's like, all right, you propose to her, you go to marriage counseling. Well, no, you propose to her, you plan the wedding, go to marriage counseling, then you get married. That's what I just thought it was like one of them steps to matrimony.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
definitely one of the steps.
And like I used to play in my head, you know what I mean? Like, hey, like this is when after I proposed, it's like, what are the things when we was like dating? Like, what is the things that she do that I don't like that I'm gonna have to live with?
You constantly leave me with. I know. Listen, my face is always because I'm just never really ready
And
for
I'd
what
be
you're
like,
about to say.
oh, I'm cool with it.
So, like for me, to be honest, no, I didn't think that we needed premarital counseling. I didn't think I did. No, because before I even met you, though, I really didn't think about the idea of going to premarital counseling. I'm gonna just be honest. My mindset was, I'm wonderful. No, my mindset really was that I felt like I was a solid individual, right?
Solid.
I felt like
So if somebody married you, it's like, hey, you welcome.
A bit. I really felt like I was someone that was going to be open-minded. I was willing to hear you out.
Yeah.
I was willing to listen. So I didn't feel like we would hit too many walls or barriers where all of a sudden we just didn't work for some reason. I thought that we would be able to, honestly, I thought, because this is my thing. I didn't think I was going to pick trash.
Dang. Yeah. No, that's good.
I'm saying, like, I didn't think that. So in my mind, now mind you, you learn, you know what I'm saying, all these different things, and because you run into a situation does not mean that person is trash. I learned that over time, but I'm saying my mindset was
along the way.
We are going to be two just like excellent individuals that get together, and it's just going to flow. And when we hit a little bump in the road, we're going to be like, "Hey, babe, it's okay." But
no, yeah, and like to your point though, I was like when we were dating, like because like this whole podcast, this whole episode is like basically us rewinding back the tape. And like really replaying like those, you know what I mean, those dating and being affianced, right? Periods, right? And like it was like, no, you was very easygoing, like,
so
but like
you solid.
You kind of always been that way
y'all.
Though. When we were in high school,
let me just say this.
Go ahead, baby.
Look, he said I was right. So meaning I was right. No. So I'm saying, drop in the comments if y'all need me to find y'all a significant other, a spouse. I can spot him, all right?
No, I'm the one.
Good.
No,
I'm good. I'm good at this.
I found you. I'm the good.
No, but
I'm the good finder.
I created myself into this amazing individual.
But I found her. So if you need it, you reach out to me.
So in the comments, tell us who you want to find you somebody. I wish one of my ladies would say him. I would be like, girl, you don't even know him like that. He don't know. But anyways, go on. I'm sorry.
So
I know I probably threw you off.
Here's our fact. No. Research supports that belief that marriage counseling like benefits a marriage, right? Yes. Premarital counseling, right? A classic study said, for example, let me start over. A classic study in the journal Family Relations, for example, found that couples who completed some form of premarital counseling had a 30% increase in marital satisfaction compared to those who hadn't done any counseling. And this is like 30% if you just had some. Like we went through the whole process, right?
And it's funny because we did premarital counseling. I can see what they're saying about just the 30%. I can absolutely see how you find that sense of just like, yo, this is what's working for me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And like I said earlier, like I knew we was gonna get married. You know,
the way you just,
I know, but that was the thing. And so with us having to do, or it was being strongly suggested that we do premarital counseling, I had no problem with doing it because, again, there was nothing that they were going to tell me that was going to be like, hey, y'all shouldn't get married.
So like that's to me, but that is what I feel like it was comforting, and I was really hoping that I wasn't being naive into entering into that. Because, like, listen, we say all this, but there are so many peoples that either do or don't do premarital counseling, and for some reason they don't get married. Like, they realize
you said peoples?
No, people.
You said peoples.
Okay, peoples. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Peoples.
See, I don't even know. Like, if you'd have said that when we was dating, I'd be like, ooh, her subject verb agreement.
See,
ain't
like
good.
I said, he doesn't know how to pick them. I know how to pick them. I'm dope.
She slipped through the crack with this bad subject verb agreement. I'm just playing.
Anyways,
which is something that
I just
Harper's
really
doing
feel
right
like,
now.
I know.
She making jokes.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Like, we got a kid, y'all. Yeah. Kids, it's crazy. No, but I really felt like I was hoping that I wasn't being naive, because there are a lot of people that don't go to premarital counseling, do go to premarital counseling, and for some reason they recognize that they aren't the ones. And I'm like, I just didn't feel that in my gut with you, and I was really hoping that that wasn't going to be the situation, and it wasn't. So I'm just like,
yeah, no, for sure. One of the things, like you just said that, like, the fear is like, hey, when we talk to this person, we gonna find out that this is not a good time to get married.
Yeah.
But like what that means is it's just not a good time now. It didn't say that you all aren't perfect, you aren't for each other, or anything like that. It's just like you aren't. This is not a good time, or you need to push back the time. And that's the problem though. And it's much like kind of what we did. We were just blessed to be like compatible partners. But like we do the premarital counseling along the way of preparing for the wedding, right? The date is set already.
Yeah, that is
money is
interesting.
already paid. So then it'd be like, hey man, like I know that we got some stuff to work through.
Should it be changed? Should it be?
I think that.
Okay. Should it be?
What's the question? Yeah.
When you, I'm sorry, yeah, because I'm thinking my brain is going.
Because the question is posed.
You're dating someone, you get very serious with them, and then you do premarital count. Like, it's almost, so it's weird to say no. But look though, it almost, don't call it premarital, right? Because then it's like, whoa, I wasn't really trying to. I was just trying to see what was up with you. Like, because I'm saying, think about it. There are some situations where the guy or the girl, like, I know I kind of want to marry this person. I haven't proposed yet, but I know I want to marry them. So the question is do you start going to counseling then? Because it is kind of interesting, not gonna say crazy, that you propose, get the venue, lock it in. Some of your money's not refundable. You buying flowers, you getting the dress, all this, and you're like, oh, let's go to premarital counseling.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that my personal opinion is I think that it probably should happen after proposal, right? Okay. Because when I proposed to you, we didn't have a date.
Yeah, you know, so it should happen soon after, and like it should be a slight pause on all the other things.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, I can get down with that.
Because I think the other thing that's
so
beautiful.
I can get down with that.
Yeah, the other thing that's beautiful. You are old. You're so old. It's my old lady, right? By a couple of months.
Cut.
But I think the other thing that's beautiful about premarital counseling, as opposed to like relationship counseling, is there hasn't been, in most cases, a situation where like we're in this like good,
it's a sweet spot.
Good,
it's super sweet.
We're in a good spot, right?
All we want is to be married.
And so I think that, like, again, right after I drop, I get on that knee and I put that ring on your finger and I say, let's get married.
Oh, did y'all hear the signers? Who signed it?
Right. So that's when we need to do it, right? I also think that it's good for premarital counseling. The good thing about it is it creates a space for you to share your pet peeves, your icks, your deal breakers, your unspoken rules that you live by while in a non-threatening environment. Yeah, because like we ain't into it, right? So as the counselor or the psychiatrist or psychologist asks or poses these questions for us, you know what I mean? We can like really discuss these things in a way that it's like, she did this the other day.
Yeah.
Or he did this the other day. And I have a roommate scenario, right? Okay. I remember my sophomore year, right? So look, my freshman year,
Drama.
We was me and my roommate Christian. I love him to death. He's from Hamburg, Germany, at Hampton University. Oga 5, Oga 12, baby. But we just had these
UCLA,
unspoken
Sunset,
things. Yeah, I ain't got nothing.
Sunset Village, baby.
Nah. Only HBCUs got those things, right?
PWI all day.
But we just had this. We was just in a groove. We were smooth. Like we ran track together. We had these. We was on the same schedule. The whole kid and caboodle. It was perfect, right? But then my sophomore year, I new roommate. He gets in. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. And along the way, there's some things that happen that irritate you or that bother you, and you just have to kind of shake it off and like let it slide and all of these things. But then eventually, you have the moments, and like just like full disclosure, I had a day. There was a day, and I had a bad day, and my roommate threw my shoes across the room. I noticed the change.
That is crazy.
And I was just like, I had already had this
enough.
day. I had enough. And I made it. I did some things that led him to confront me, and we got into it. We got into a little. We were squabbling. So go ahead, say it.
I can't do it.
Say it.
Squabs. I can't do it. I love that man with all my heart. And he is hilarious with that curl.
Oh, they squabbling. Yeah,
Right.
got into a little squabble, right? And all of those things could have been prevented if at the beginning of the year when we got together, I said, hey, these are the things that I like. These are the things I don't like. And he could say the same thing. So we have all of these unmentionables out there in the open. And I always tell my college students or my students when they graduate to college, like graduate and go off to college and say, hey, like have a conversation with your roommate, right? Before things get furry, right?
And so that makes me think about how my perspective is with a part of our counseling. I feel like what premarital counseling does, like you said about have those conversations, they give you 10-year, 15, 20-year, 25, 30 give you 30-year questions, right?
Yeah.
So they give you a 10-year question that as much as you sit down, you and your significant other sit down and try and think of like, let's just discuss like, things that you like, things you don't like, this and that. They'll sit down because they've been married for however period of time.
Because that's initially what we thought, right? It was like, hey, we talked about this. I'm good on that. I'm good with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, our counselor was like, okay.
Absolutely. They were able to think of like, okay, when you're married for 20 years, this could be something that comes up. How would you feel about it? And so it's almost like they got this crystal ball and they're able to kind of give you a snippet of your future of like, okay, they present a question and you're kind of like, oh, and then it's something for you both to like chew on, right?
Ponder on,
and so, like I said, you sit down with your significant other and you're constantly trying to think of things and like, because you as much as you can, you want to just smooth out the road as much as possible. That's impossible, but as much as you can, right? But they're there, I think, to present you with questions that
Those
you just would have,
potholes.
which you would have never thought of. And that to me was just like, I feel like that was just something I needed that I didn't, because by no means did I think I had everything figured out, but I thought we had really good conversations.
Absolutely. Me too. And the biggest, I think the best thing that happened in our marriage counseling was when you were able to air out your fears about like being in a relationship with me. Because look, I'm perfect. Ain't nothing wrong with me.
I'm sorry. That was so
but like
funny and wrong.
She had some fears and I was like,
So look, okay. So what premarital counseling did for us was one fear that I had. And the thing is, we had talked about it.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I think what was kind of hard was I feel like no matter kind of how I said it, he wasn't getting
that it was a big deal.
The severe, like the depth of what I was saying. Like I'm like asking him a question and he's like, yeah, no, I know that this has to change, or I know that. And I'm like, I don't really know how to say it without like offending him. That's what it was. I wanted to ask the question and get him to get it without offending him because I did not want to by any means. And so one of those fears was he was a mama's boy. Like,
oh, absolutely.
A real mama's boy. Yeah. No, guys.
I am a mama's boy through and through,
And so for me, it was like, okay, how do I say this? And the thing is, I loved our counselors. Like the couple,
for sure.
They just were on point. They were just good. I felt like they heard us.
Yes.
They heard us. And that was really helpful. And so for me, posing that question of that, they were able to give him some advice, just on like a perspective on it of like what I'm saying, right? So I say it and they're like, okay, this could be another way of hearing what she's saying. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. I was like, that's it. That's it.
And
you know
so,
what I mean?
And so here's the thing for you mama's boys, us mama's boys, right?
I'm going to lead. Everyone else, we can lead a room.
Y'all can lead a room. I'm talking to the mama's boys. The beautiful thing about our counselors was the fact that they were a moderator. They were the mediator between you said that to me before, right? But I didn't understand that because again, I had never seen my family relationship through those lenses, right? Okay. So because for me it was like everything's perfect, everything's good. Like I love my family first, all of these things, which is dope and
as you should.
Ideal,
yes.
right? But there were some other things that as a married man, there's some things that had to change. And so the reality is as a mama's boy, getting ready to become married, I didn't see the toxic, I hate to say it this way, but it's like the toxicity of the relationship because I'm looking at it through tunnel vision. And when I say toxicity, it's just one of those things where like my mindset had to shift towards moving mom to a different position in my life, right? Most mama's boys, what we do is we try to elevate the partner, the girl or the new partner up to where mom is, when the reality is she has to come before mom now. And it's not one of those things where he's pushing mom out the way or he's diminishing mom or mother, but it's just one of those things that when you get married, the wife's needs come before the mom's.
And let me be clear,
right?
I remember
the moms.
when, like for me, I know my relationship with my mother and my family, and I was very clear that I not only wanted but needed someone that had a good relationship with their family. So for me, it like the initial, like I know I've been in conversations where some people are like, ooh, mama's boy, I don't do that. And it was like, for me, that wasn't a turnoff because I'm like, no, I need him to like his mama though. Like I need that love to be there. I don't need him to be like, I talk to her that ain't gonna work. Because when I want to rock with my mama, I don't need you to be like, you calling her again?
It's like,
like, yes, I am.
And so, like, I wrote this part down because I wanted to make sure I got it right? Because the thing is,
I'm like, what he right?
When the mama's boy marries someone, right? Again, like I said, he's not killing the relationship that he has with his mom. But what happens is, the wife comes first. Her safety, her heart, and her well-being comes first. Mom's going to be okay. It's not your job, mama's boy, to comfort her comfort, right? But to comfort her purpose. And mom's purpose was to prepare you to be a great husband and father.
Oh, wow.
Right? And so again, all of these years, mom was doing, the relationship was what it was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be.
It was what it was supposed to be, right?
Agreed.
But then once you become a man or you get to like leave and cleave, the relationship has to shift, right? It has to shift so that my focus is geared towards all of the preparation along the way. Like my mom, the relationship with my mom, the relationship with my dad was all preparing me to be this husband and father. And when that happens, that's when that separation has to come, and then my new partner moves up and mom is still where she was.
You
know
still
what I mean?
So funny because right now you completely went into teacher mode. Like
Amen.
you were completely
I did.
And preacher. Okay.
Yeah.
You all you didn't have was your blackboard behind you to like write on it and point out all your
I'm trying to help these mamas boys.
No, you clearly did. Like I really was like I really could step out, which I'm definitely okay with. But it's like it's I could tell that you obviously had like thought and stuff with it. And for me,
because it was hard. It
was. And so the other thing I do remember that what they told us, and I think this might even be your part to even say, we was talking about family, like who addresses who family.
That's the other thing. Yeah, that was the other thing that was super beneficial.
Totally different perspective. I never thought of it like this. And I was like, if I took nothing else from this, I was like,
we learned.
Got it.
We learned definitely if someone on her side of the family did something to bother me or like, you know what I mean, disrespect me,
And it wasn't like just yes.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was like almost like overall like things that towards
Anything,
the marriage or towards
Yeah. It was
if they did things towards the marriage that we didn't necessarily like.
Right. It was whomever's side of the family's responsibility to like share that information.
Yeah, so if my sister did something or then I was like here, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like because what it turns into is if Alonzo is approaching my sister, if Alonzo's saying something to my mom,
hostile.
Absolutely, it's hostile, but it's also coming across like he changing her.
That part.
Dawn didn't say nothing. Why he over
Dawn
here saying
ain't got
something?
No issue with
exactly, but he got an issue, and it's like no, actually, we had talked about it. He just got to you first.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It can come across real kind of sticky,
and you don't want that to happen at the beginning of your relationship. Right?
That's what I was gonna say. This is. I'm really thinking about beginning a relationship because I feel like we deep into it now, and in some situations,
we 10 years
you know
in
what I
the
mean?
game. Like we all like have our own relationship with like our
certain people,
our in-laws, our in-loves, right?
Right.
But yeah, for sure. That was really, really good though. And because again, these are things that we never thought about. Like, are we thinking about like for real, honestly and truly, to be 100% honest, it was like, all right, are you okay with if she snores? She don't snore. But are you okay with if she snores? Are you okay with the fact that she don't like fried chicken? Or you know what I mean?
Like you do have deeper conversations where you talk about. No, I'm saying like kids and family. And,
we talked about that. Like, right, she want to have kids. And then like, I want to have kids.
And faith. You know what I mean? We talked about that.
Absolutely. We go to the same church. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then when I went out there with her in LA, we went to the same church. So our beliefs were the same. So it was like, okay, what else is there? What else is there?
Like, come on, this is what we saying. This is what we know. Like, we good, smooth sailing.
Yeah.
No, and then it really also what counseling did was it allowed you to voice the fact that I guess you were nervous about me with my career being married and adding that part into it, right? Because I mean, we already know women in sports, when it comes to relationships,
women in careers. Like just a woman in her career.
This is true. My mind was just thinking about our specific situation.
She's in her career and then she starts to date.
Different.
Oh, for sure.
It is seen as, is her focus going to be the same now that she's found a significant other? Oh my goodness, whoa, when they're going to have babies? You know, if she's, you know, at this position in her job, will she still be able to maintain in her sport? Like, will she be able to?
Is his ego going to be
exactly
like, what is it, coddled or like, you know, catered to or not? Mm-hmm. Yeah, is she going to be able to?
And it's funny because I didn't think about any of those things because I felt like I was going to be able to handle them, but I saw through counseling, like when he voiced it, I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was a.
And I don't think that I would necessarily have had a platform to be able to voice those things had I not gone to premarital counseling.
Okay.
It would have just been one of those things that I had to deal with within myself, right?
Yeah.
Between
and
me and God,
eventually it would have come up in something because I'd have had something and I'd have been like, "What you talking? Why you looking funny?" You know,
and it would have came out as a reaction, right?
Yeah.
So premarital counseling allows us to be proactive.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Yes. And I always say this: premarital counseling helps with. I say it helped me with the unknowns.
For sure.
Right? Yeah, it helps with the unknowns of like, you didn't know, but they say something. It helps you with your pet peeves, right? You know, because it's like, we got pet peeves. We got things that kind of annoy us, but it turns into, okay, he do that one more time, we gonna have a problem. Yeah. And he not even knowing that he's bothering. He's like, this is what I've always done growing up. This is my thing. This is what I do.
Like you said, it's that crystal ball, right? Mm-hmm. It's like the counselor has dealt with tried and true, like situations and scenarios that have like, been hiccups for this couple, or they've been they've broken up this couple or that couple, and they're like, and so it's one of those things where like I've been through what I've been through, so that the next person that comes behind me doesn't.
That's kind of. I feel like that's what counseling is.
Yeah.
On the slide, like that's kind of what it is,
and
right?
This is
especially
from a
in the situation.
Relationships.
I mean, because I don't know. Hold up though.
What's up?
Yes / maybe not. Because I was thinking in our situation, that's what it was, because we talked with a couple, a married couple. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I guess some premarital counseling might just be one person and they've maybe studied these types of things. So it's not always necessarily what I've gone through, right? It's what I know.
So that's a good question. Absolutely. So we went through marriage counseling at our church. At Believers Temple Word Fellowship, right? 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
That's still crazy.
The question is, like, comment below. If you did premarital counseling, did you do it through a church or did you go to like an agency?
And would you prefer a couple, a married couple, or individual?
An individual. Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
I think that'd be a real good one. I mean, I feel like it also allowed us to bring up the difficult questions, like
100%.
The real hard ones.
Like I said, the stuff that I'm afraid to, I can't, like, so I used to be passive aggressive, right? Now I'm more assertive.
Yeah.
One, as a grown man that's 5'9", like I don't have the leeway to be passive aggressive. I'm too little.
So let me say this.
So I got to be assertive.
Yes, / it took time. And
Look,
hold on. Yes, but you still have moments where I'm like,
absolutely.
bruh, speak your mind.
So
I don't
hard.
know why I feel like I'm so able and willing to be like, hey, this is what just happened. This is how I feel about it. Like, I mean, I'm very, like, it can happen right then. I'm like, hey, hold on, let's talk about it real quick. He's very much
I'm a
like
pleaser.
time goes. Yeah.
I'm a pleaser, and I've always been that way. And
God,
so
that can boil my blood.
oftentimes, like when I have to express something that I don't like, I already know that it's uncomfortable for me, right? So I have to talk about these things that's going to be unpleasant.
So,
as a pleaser, that's hard for me to do.
So now it turns into we've been married 10
get
years.
impatient. Yeah.
No, so I know, and I can see it all in your body language. So literally, there'll be times something happen, I stop and I be like, so what? Like what? You know what I mean? And he's like, and you know what I have to do, because it would be so rude and disrespectful, because I would not want him to do it to me. I have to catch myself, because I want to be like, boy, just say it. You can't do that. You can't. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, be patient on his own time, but you know what? It also turns into a frustration, because then my mindset, because I see it differently than him. I'm not a people pleaser like that. So the question is like, why can't you speak to me? Why can't you just say it to me?
Yeah,
do you
think
I'm
it personal?
Yes, I do, because I'm like, am I like, do I lash out? Am I going to offend you? Am I like, do I not give you a space
I do
where
be
you
kind
can
of
feel
afraid you
comfortable?
don't swing on me. I'm just playing. Nah.
But get on my nerves.
No, but honestly and truly, like, it is. I saw you. Yes, I saw you. It is one of those things though where I'm like, again, I'm more assertive in the world, but like again, in my house, it's still like, it's touchy. I'm getting better, but we said this earlier. I'm more comfortable to be able to like just out with it when I lead with the drop your guard, right? Yes. Like, hey, yo, drop your guard. I just need you to hear me out, hear what I got to say. But the other challenge though is the fact that a lot of times I'll be holding on to stuff, right? And it'd be a compilation. It'd be
you said compilation. What?
You heard
you didn't
it.
About to. You said it.
Yeah, it'd be a whole bunch of things that make me feel this way. Yeah. And then when I talk about this one thing, it's like this, right? Yeah. But it's like a whole bunch of things under the surface that I can't even like.
Y'all, it boils my blood.
Yeah, and I'll be like, but like, look, this is how I feel. This is what made me feel this way. But it's not just because of this one thing. It's all these other things. But I can't even talk about all these other things. I forgot all these other.
And I'm like, why not? You should have said it when they happened. I'm super confused. Why you so mad about this one thing? Because it seemed like it's mad about this one thing. Because if you just should address the other things, we had all that nipped in the bud. You wouldn't even be mad about this little thing. But all right, come on. That's
Absolutely.
how I feel.
Which is why
I let y'all into my brain.
Which is why our counsel is so helpful.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, but you know what it turned into for me, y'all. If we just being honest,
what did it do?
Sounds so crazy.
Yes,
I would be really excited about our counseling like sessions, because I always feel like at the end, he said a little something, I said a little something. Yeah, we heard something new about each other. And I literally would leave like, I am so excited to be marrying this man.
We got closer together.
I was so excited to be marrying this man. Yeah. Like, for real, it was like, it was my babe. Like, it made me say even more of like, oh my gosh, I found my person. Yeah. Like, I found my person. That was such a beautiful like thing for me to constantly like experience. Because think about it, we did multiple sessions, so I was constantly feeling this. So it was just like wedding day. Yeah.
It made the wedding day even more.
And I just
pleasant,
it was like it was a piece. It was just like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
And so like we learned a lot of stuff about ourselves in that process, but like we were able to take away things as well to prepare for the marriage. And one of those things was like, she's not supposed to be everything for me. Yeah. And I'm not supposed to be everything for her, but rather the 10% that I can't be for myself. Right? That's what she was. That's what she is. Yeah. You know what I mean? And vice versa. We weren't fixing anyone, but enhancing each other.
Yeah. Yeah. You look like your mom when you just did that. That was so funny.
And then the other part was like, we're partners. Like it reinforced the fact that we're partners, right? And not parenting each other, because oftentimes like
I got a whole mama and a daddy, thanks.
that part, right? Oftentimes you hear like you hear in relationships, or I've heard in relationships where it'd be like, oh, I'm gonna fix him, I'm gonna get him right. It's like, and as soon as a man hears that, we automatically shut. We kill switch. Like you ain't fixing me, I'm all right. Like I told you, I'm perfect. If she came in this relationship trying to fix Lonzo. That was my dad squeaking. My dad, like he gets squeaky.
Does he?
Right. But yeah, let me say it right. If she came in this relationship trying to fix Lonzo, it wasn't gonna happen. We'd still be dating.
No, we wouldn't be together. You think I'm about to be
That's
up in
what
this
I'm
thing
saying
10
though.
years?
That's what I'm saying though. Like, but again, like we not fixing each other.
Yeah.
We just making each other better. Right?
Absolutely.
I married you. I started dating you. I reached out to you. I DM'd you because of who you were. You know what I'm saying? Not because of who I was finna make you into, and vice versa.
I agree.
Yeah.
So look, we about to wrap it up. But look, I saw this. You didn't say this.
Yeah, so look.
Look at this, guys.
So look.
What's that?
Before me and Dawn started dating.
This man is good.
My dad.
So maybe you can choose. Because you good. Go ahead.
So before me and Dawn started dating, my dad gave me his prayer journal, right? And he got this prayer journal in 1989. It says it on here.
Oh, you did not tell me that.
Right? It says November 17th, 1989. Right?
You were 5.
He gave it to me on December 27th, 2008. Right? And so because of that, I'm getting emotional.
So cool.
I would fill out, I would like pray, you know what I mean? And I would write down what I was praising God for and believing God for. And getting emotional.
That's so cool, boo. I didn't know that.
I would like, I don't know why, but I mean, God does. I would pray for Dawn.
Before we were together. Yeah, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I didn't think this was gonna happen, but I would legit pray for you. And like I would always check on you.
Yeah.
Right?
You would.
I was always like, cause like even before like I recognized that I loved you, you was my homegirl and I wanted you to win. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's hard like being an underdog. I've always been an underdog. And so like as you was grinding to like make this team, because I was out there with you since 2006. Like I was like, yo, like God, like, you know what I'm saying? Stand with her.
And when he told me this, he said he used to write in his journal and pray for me. It was like, I mean, yeah, I believed him, but I didn't believe to the extent that he was like really. I thought he was like, my friend. So I thought he was putting me under that umbrella. Like, no, he was putting my name in his prayer book, his prayer journal. Yeah. You know what I mean? And talking to God about me and everything. So for me, it was just like when we got together, it was such a, like I said, I felt safe. I felt like he was the one, but the premarital counseling for me just really solidified like, Lord, I think you really made him for me.
For sure.
So it's like, for me, I don't know, like that was really,
yeah, I ain't think
that
this
was
was gonna happen.
You
but
what a little baby. I'm just saying that's my boo thing. Like this is really, really, oh baby,
so,
you special.
Hey, fellas, like this is what I propose to you. If you serious about her, like go ahead and do some premarital counseling. And fellas, if you in a relationship right now, you didn't do it and you married, like, and everything's going good, consider doing like counseling, like just to check in and make sure y'all are good and to like and prepare for different potholes. Like we was just talking about this on the way here. It's like, all right, we're at year 10. Do you think we probably should do a check-in or do some check-in
when he
sessions?
said, I was like, that was random. What? My brain was somewhere else. But I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't know. It's not a crazy question. I can't sit here and act like I haven't seen the fruits of his labor.
Because our lives are much different. Like we said this before. 19-year-old Lonzo and Don is different than 29-year-old Lonzo and Don.
Different than 39.
We was 1 year married.
I know.
Now we 39-year-old Lonzo and Don, and we married and we got 2 little girls, and we in different careers and we changing careers and stuff. And it's like, got some we need to make sure
but I feel like we're in a beautiful, beautiful space.
For sure.
And so I think this is a good space to say, y'all just had real talk with the real Nelsons.
Yeah, for sure.
So go ahead and hit that like, comment, hit up with the comments, because this is going to be saw my man's cry.
Let us know. Yeah,
let me know how you felt about them series. You hit
right.
that subscribe button.
All right.
Peace.